October Red here with Savannah Marshall while she keeps a watchful eye on her opponent. Franchon is doing her workout. I want immediate feedback. What are you thinking, Savannah?
I was just looking at her boots, thinking, oh, they're nice boots.
I watched the gloves are off. Good watch that was with the both of you. Very respectful. Competitive, but still respectful. But I saw a different you. Someone that's more like cool, calm, collected, and like focused. Almost like a tunnel vision. Like you've written it out, almost like you've written it out, what you need to do, and you're going to stick to that plan. Talk to us about that, or I could be wrong.
How else do you interact when someone's hysterically laughing and then breaking into tears 1 minute and then singing ballads the next? Do you know what I mean? I was sat there thinking, what is going on here? Seriously, I was looking about thinking, they'll end up cutting this. They'll cut this bit out, surely.
So it wasn't cut into pieces then, that's literally how it was?
To be honest, I haven't watched it. I don't like the sound of my own voice, but I was there in person, and I just remember thinking, surely they won't show that. Surely they won't. Like even Johnny, I was thinking, why are you poking her? Leave her alone. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't want to talk about her mum. Stop trying to upset her. But no, he kept prodding the bear, and then tissues are out.
Interesting. What do you see of this fight anyway? Because one of the things that I did pick up from the interview, and I get it, you want the rematch. I understand you want to avenge your loss with Carissa Shields. But one of the things that I noticed in the conversation with you all is that it was almost like this is the fight to get back to her. Do you think that could be construed that you're slightly overlooking what you've got in front of you?
To be honest, it's more the media and the press. Everything I've done is on about Carissa. And look, I'll answer it. But, do you know, I can't overlook Franchon. I'm not overlooking Franchon, but even from her point of view, if I was there, I'd be thinking, hang on a minute, she's fighting me on Saturday.
I'm going to have to cut you. They want you in the ring. That's what happens when you're going to be a world champion again. Anyway, right. How's the camp gone, Savannah?
It's been brutal.
That's it.
12 weeks. I'm glad of this week because it's like foot off the gas. It's been really hard. So I've moved up a weight. So I'm sparring heavier guys. I'm sparring people who are going to push me about. Do you know, it's been hard.
You're someone that...
John Pegs.
Oh, okay.
I've been every Friday sparring Sam Egerton, a couple of the other lads. I mean, you know Sam yourself, doesn't stop coming forward. And when you're trying to keep someone off like that, that's his game.
Yeah.
10 rounds, it's awful. I dread Fridays.
What would you say that you've learned like differently? I know you said obviously you've gone up a weight, so you're sparring heavier guys. But when it comes to what you've like learned from your last fight to this fight, what's the biggest thing been for you, Savannah?
No, this is going to sound so depressing, but what legacy is a load of crap. You know, people say fight for legacy, fight for this. You know, you're fighting on the all-time first ever female card, and you think, oh wow, yeah. And then when it comes, maybe it's because I got big and I'm a bit sour lemons, but the next generation won't know anything about that unless they're into boxing. I did a couple of school visits after my fight, and everyone watched me fight. Loads of kids, primary school level, all tuned in to watch me fight. And then before you know, it's Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor, the next big female fight. Before you know it, would you say Caroline DeBar, Michaela May, and then after time, it just gets forgotten about. So for me, legacy, you can't buy shopping with legacy.
So what is it now then? And like that's a massive switch because a lot of fighters, yes, you know, they do fight, you prize fighters, you're not going to go in there for free. But it is about that, you know, when you're in the Hall of Fame, when someone looks at the picture of you in a boxing museum and thinks of all your achievements. Yeah, you could say that you're bitter because you lost. But what else has like switched you to say, you know what, I've got to be in this for myself right now? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I've got to be. And even the belts, like, maybe it's because I haven't got any again, but I'm looking at my old one thinking, look at it, pink, it's horrible, collecting dust. But for this fight, it was for the Undisputed, and I'm looking at these belts and thinking, do you know, I want a family. I want to, when I retire boxing, I want my own family, and I want my kids to, you know, be running about with my belts saying, these are my mums. My mum won this. For one to be saying, oh, I like the blue one, or my favourite's the green. this is what I'm doing it for myself and in my future. So when I'm saying legacy, I'm more talking about, like you said there, the Hall of Fame, where your granddad's in the Hall of Fame and saying, oh, I seen her fight on the all-female card, and your grandson saying, well, I don't know who that is. It's crazy.
Looking at Franchon in the ring, obviously looking at what she can bring to the fight, what do you see as like a biggest threat? I listened to, like I said, the gloves are off, and you said, I ain't telling you your weaknesses, but what I will say is that you're someone that's game, you're someone that's prepared to get in there and fight. How are you going to change that and make sure that it's your fight this time, Savannah?
For me, anything she brings, I've got an answer for. I know what my game plan is. I know, for me, come Saturday, it all might go out the window, but I've got a plan B, I've got a plan C. I know what she's good at. I've seen all her fights. I know the average Joe, you could look at her and think, oh, she's novice, she's terrible, she's not easy on the eye. But when you look a little bit closer, she's actually quite smart in what she does. She uses her strength, she roughs you up, she gets you desperately swinging away, she gets you out of your rhythm, and then that's what she's about, and that's what she does. She's a brawler.
Well, something that is your attribute is your range, your long levers, something that you probably didn't get to use that much in the last fight. So how are you going to, like you said, somebody that's, is going to try and like hold on to you or use her attributes, how are you going to stick her on the end of that?
Look, if she comes and tries to outbox me, she's playing into my hands. But there's going to be a time she gets past me jab. There's going to be a time she gets on my chest. There's 10 rounds. And, that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been sparring Sam for. That's why I've had him coming at me for 10 rounds. I can fight at range all night. So...
Able to absolutely mix it up if you've got to. Would you say that's like a lesson, like to literally adapt to that fight and change to the opponent to make sure you can control them?
100% for me, it's like leaving no stone unturned.
One of the comments, because the conversation that we had last time is obviously coming back up again because people are searching for you. A couple of the comments, she's too pretty to fight, I love her, all the other stuff. But one of the comments that stood out to me is somebody saying, I hope she doesn't stay with Peter. Now, I remember when you had the interview on Sky Sports, it raised a few of our eyebrows because I was like, what the bloody hell is she saying that for? Is she going to leave him? Was there a rift at that time, or was there something that you needed to smooth out? It's a relationship, isn't it, at the end of the day?
No, that was just all tongue in cheek. She asked me what went wrong, and for my way of I'm not going to sit and say, oh, the game plan was wrong. So for me, I just pushed it onto him. So I just went, oh, you know what? I just asked him what went wrong. There was a bit in the gloves are off where she was saying, this is the difference between me and you. I don't rely on my coach. What I do, he's been with me every step of the way. 4 eyes are better than 2. And you can see in her fights, I've seen fights where coaches are screaming at her, telling her what to do in the corner, and she just goes out and does whatever she wants. So that is the difference between me and her.
Peter's advice, strong words of advice, is somebody that can get on with anybody. He's like a book in a library that you'd always go back and read again and again. What has his words been to you, like, for your focus to make sure you win that, to make sure you come back with those belts, that they will be yours? And that's the reason why I'm saying this is he's so professional. He's like, the best person wins on the night. The best fighter will win. He's very matter of fact. He's not venomous with it. But what advice is he giving to you to make sure you get that win?
I don't know about that, but I only recently watched my fight with Carissa about a month and a half ago. So I've only seen it once. And for me, I was saying, look, I had a front seat. I was in there. I remember what happened. I remember coming away from that thing. Do you know what? I got hammered there. And when I watched it back, it was a lot closer than what I thought. Them rounds were really close. Not taking anything away from her. I thought she won. But there was rounds, I remember the last round 10, I watched and I thought, how on earth did not one judge give me that round? I'm not saying I was robbed or anything like that, but I'm saying, do you know, what are you looking for? Especially that round, I'm pushing her back and the rounds were close. And I thought my footwork was brilliant. I remember looking at that and I'm thinking, wow, look at my footwork there. So that gave me a boost, but because all of the time after he was saying it was close, it was a lot closer than what you're thinking, because I hadn't seen it, I was thinking, nah, I got hammered there, and he's like, I'm going to sit down and watch it together.
So you take that from that, and that helps to build your confidence to prepare you for Saturday night. For your fans, because you have got quite a few of them, you're like an English Rolls, aren't you? What would you say to your fans, the ones that support you, a message that you can give to your fans for Saturday?
Honestly, I believe I wouldn't be here without them. If I hadn't have sold out that O2, look, the reality is I'm coming off a loss, so why would I was out of contract, why would the promoter give me another chance? Why would they give me an undisputed, set me up for an undisputed fight? And it's because my Peter said to me the other day that you've got massive fans, the fans love you, and that's what it's about. And look, I remember on my second fight I had to sell 50 tickets to get on a show, and I remember writing on Facebook, I don't have 50 friends, and that was 50 tickets, and I just sold out the O2 in October, and I've sold a couple of thousand for this fight. So it's me being in this position's down to the fans.
We love it, and we wish you all the best. You've got your commitments. I shall see you fight night. Savannah, do your best. The UK is behind you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.